royal finances used to be secret. In response to public pressure, accounts were first published in 1995, and they've made the news ever since. Not so long ago, a palace press conference would have been inconceivable.
Well, we've got all the royal correspondents from national media in this room here. They came in at 9 o'clock. They've been given a copy of the Royal Public Finances Report, which will come out later this morning. It's 127 pages long, so they have a chance to study it and to think about what sort of questions they want clarification on. And this is the one chance in the year they get to actually ask direct questions and for me to make a statement on royal finances to them.
Sir Alan is used to dealing with a sceptical press.
Good morning. I wanted to say a few words about our policy to finance here first. Our key aim is not to try and achieve a low-cost monarchy. What we're really after is to achieve a high-quality, very efficient, very professional value-for-money monarchy. The second part of our policy is that we are spending, and we realise it, taxpayers' money, and therefore we want to be as transparent about it as we possibly can. In all of that, we are reporting that the head of state expenditure this year was 62 pence per person in the country. And that's not a daily rate, it's not a monthly rate, it's the annual cost of the monarchy.
We're struck, I think, as ever by the travel costs. And whereas it cost the staff of the Prince of Wales £45,000 to recce a trip to the US, it cost the staff of the Queen just £15,000 to recce a trip to Australia and Singapore.
The recce costs reported here at 15,000. The Australian government made a £12,000 contribution towards that. As far as the Prince of Wales trip is concerned, it was a very complicated trip going to the east and west coast of the United States. You can never tell until tomorrow morning's press coverage. I mean, that's really the key judge of it. And even then, you don't really know how the readers of the newspaper are going to take on board the points that the press themselves are saying.
Although the palace is more open about its finances, it chooses not to publish league tables of royal workloads. The unofficial task of totting up the totals is left to a retired insurance broker in the town of Windsor.
The Times gets delivered to this house every single day of the year, including when I'm on holiday. So I think I can say from 1980 to the present, I've never missed buying a copy of the Times. And when I finish reading it, I will cut out the court circular and paste it into a scrapbook. And then I will total up the different engagements that the different members of the royal family do. For instance, visits, then there are opening ceremonies, there are galas, sports occasions, receptions, lunches, dinners, investitures. Every quarter I total that up, so I have a running total really every 3 months, and then we get a total for the year. It's very interesting to see what the Queen does, what Prince of Wales gets up to, and I think somebody that would look at this regularly would realise just how busy they are.
According to Tim's statistics, published every year in a letter to the Times, Princess Anne is the busiest royal worker.
I think she's patron of over 200 200,000. That's what I was told by Kevin this morning. It was just amazing.
Last year, she carried out a total of 595 engagements in the UK and abroad. Princess Anne received so many invitations that some people get the royal brush off.
Why do I say no? I wouldn't dream of telling you that. No, I don't. You have to say no. Quite often, I'm sorry to say, it's because you get clashes, quite simply. You just can't do everything on the same day.
Today is typical. 3 engagements in Hampshire, then a flight back to London for 2 meetings, a reception and a dinner.
Just on site. Lorraine, we're just on site, okay?
The purpose is always to aid good causes.
You hope it raises the profile of those who are doing a really good job on the ground. That's more than anything else. It's probably what you're trying to do. It's nice to be able to to have a moment to reflect on what they have achieved.
If value is judged by the number of visits, Princess Anne comes out on top.
Do you try and keep sort of one person to a case, so to speak, so?
But at the moment, there is no way of gauging the actual benefit of the royal effort.
There are not many engagements you can try and measure whether you actually made a difference. Evaluation is more the perspective of the organisations you visit.
Back in her Buckingham Palace office, there are charities to meet before tonight's reception and dinner. The princess used to be uneasy in public and gained a reputation with some for being standoffish.
Just occasionally you remember with a sort of cold sweat how awful you were when you started and how crass everything you said seemed to be. So I think I rather hope that I may have improved. I think it is about having been around for a long time and finding the ways that the commonalities that people enjoy. And there are many more of those than you would think. When you joined, were there other members of the family in the cadets at the same time?
No, it was just friends of the family that was in them at our family joined.
Since Prince Edward gave up his career in the commercial world, he's been working at what the palace calls supporting the Queen. Last year, he had 418 engagements.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much indeed, yes.
Right,
So, was it sunny earlier on today, or? Oh.
Yesterday when your sister was here.
Ah, was she?
Yes.
That's typical, isn't it?
My husband Michael Ross.
We try very hard to avoid conflict. But then, today's been a perfect example. The Princess Royal was only here yesterday, but doing completely different things.
Each member of the royal family has different interests and causes they choose to champion. They try not to overlap.
The three emotive ones are children, animals and disease. You won't find many of those on my list of patronages because they're emotive enough, and I think they can. I mean, I'll support them where, as and when, and I'll go and visit things that they're doing. They're doing good work, but I won't necessarily become engaged as a patron. But that's my own personal thing.
Prince Edward's wife, Sophie, is happy to take up the sort of causes that her husband forgoes. She's visiting the Berkshire County Blind Society.
Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Wessex, is about to arrive in the hall. She has arrived. We wish Her Royal Highness a warm welcome with your applause.
Every visit is different. You have no idea the sorts of characters that you're going to meet. You hope that you're going to meet characters because that always makes it much easier in that sense.
I'm wearing a sort of pinky kind of clothes, yes. I was just explaining to the lady with your hand. It's got pleats across the front.
It's a bit like doing an exam, really. You have no idea at the end of the day whether or not you've actually scored all the, got the ticks in the right boxes, whether your examiner thinks you've done a good job.
Prince Edward focuses on youth, sport and the arts. As a student, he was a keen amateur dramatist. What he learned on the stage has helped him since.
Well, as anybody knows, you should never really be seen on stage with children or animals because you never know what they're going to do. There are always smart Alex in the crowd. You used to go to
Hey, Jill, I know who did ballet, come on.
Plaque unveiling is a royal skill, and the prince is something of a showman.
And I would try and make this look as slick and as professional as possible. There's no knack with plaques. Trying to make it a bit more than just, in a sense, just pulling the cord. So go on, be quiet. I hate to disappoint you, but the unveiling of a plaque is not necessarily the most exciting thing that's happened in your lives. In some places, it can be quite effective. We'll try and make this look as slick and as professional as possible. We can actually create quite a good buzz out of it and get quite a good reaction out of what could otherwise be really quite a dull exercise. Congratulations to you all. There we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. You're quite used to just seeing a sort of sea of cameras and sort of flash bulbs going off. But because the way that the mobile telephone works, it's got a very very small lens, so everybody has to thrust this thing. Everyone, for some strange reason, they're all arm's length. I don't know why, but anyway, so it always makes it look even more bizarre. That's what we call